Chair of the National Security Policy Committee on the National Council of Canadian Muslims. He joins us from Toronto. Faisal, thanks a lot for your time.
Good to be here.
So what have you been hearing from fellow Muslims about this? I can't imagine the shock and horror.
Yeah, I mean, we heard reactions from the families of the victims of the Quebec City massacre of last January, who obviously are the most directly impacted individuals who can relate to this kind of event, and who have been speaking about feeling re-traumatized, being taken back to that terrible mental place in realizing this kind of violence fueled by hate is being directed against a place of worship, a holy place for Muslims, a place of peace, a place that is supposed to bring comfort, community, and communion, and instead has brought this terrible violence today. So there's a lot of mourning and a lot of fear, because the fear level has not abated really since the Quebec City attack. And what I've heard from members of the community is the question was not if such a thing would happen again and continue to happen, but rather when and where.
Yeah, no, exactly. And a lot of people have been saying that although they're shocked and horrified, they unfortunately are not surprised. Understanding that and hearing that, has the approach then to protecting Muslims and other people of religious backgrounds changed in Canada, or does it need to change more?
Well, the National Council of Canadian Muslims has for years been speaking out and raising with members of the public and members of political leadership the problems of anti-Muslim hate, the growing tide of xenophobia, racism, and these negative forces that come together and coalesce in relation to Muslims that have really made the Muslim community feel like a fifth column, a targeted, a despised minority that is integrating very uncomfortably, despite their best efforts. Because the facts are that the Canadian Muslim community is peace-loving and seeks to join the Canadian family as equal members. But there have been so many obstructions to Muslims being able to enjoy freedoms and rights that other Canadians enjoy at the same level. And in fact, Canadian Muslims have paid a higher price for the cost of security post 9/11 because they've been the primary suspects in terrorism. And I think what we're seeing now is a strong reason to change the way we as a society think about terrorism, about who terrorists are, and about who potential victims are.
Faisal, before I have to let you go quickly, then how does society do that? How do non-members of the Muslim community, members of other communities, people within the community, help to ensure a safe environment, not only for members of the Muslim community, but for everybody?
Yeah, I mean, I think it involves doing more than reacting with horror when horrible things happen. It means seeing the connection between the horrible things and perhaps less horrible things, but equally bad things that happen every day, and recognizing that we all have a part to play in promoting a society that is free from hate and that promotes inclusion and mutual respect, and that the road to this sort of event starts with small thoughts that grow into bigger thoughts and more dangerous thoughts. And so we all have to be vigilant in our social groups, with our peers, and within our families.
Faisal Baba, Chair of the National Security Policy Committee on the National Council of Canadian Muslims. Faisal, really appreciate your time on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.